Here we are going to discuss about forced vibration. We have already discussed how the natural free vibration of a body decreases with time due to the presence of resistive forces in the medium, like the viscous force in nature. However, the adverse effect of damping can be overcome by the application of some external periodic force on the body. This external periodic force will help the body in maintaining its vibrating state by preventing the damping force. This type of vibration under the application of an external periodic force is called forced vibration. As we know, the vibrating body tries to vibrate with its own angular frequency. But due to the presence of damping force, which severely hindered the motion, and in addition to this, the presence of the applied external periodic force, which also tries to impose its frequency on the vibrating body, it has been observed that after some duration of time, a certain steady state is reached by the vibrating body, where the vibration is mostly controlled by the external periodic force, and the body vibrates with the frequency of the external force. Now, in previous case of damped harmonic motion, we observed that only two forces were acting. One was the restoring force and another one was the damping force. And the restoring force was dependent upon the displacement from the equilibrium position, and the damping force was dependent upon the velocity of the body. But here, in addition to these two forces, and another force which is called the external periodic force is also acting over the body. So the three forces are acting over the body, that is the restoring force, the damping force and the external periodic force. So the total force F is given by Fr, the restoring force, Fd, the damping force, and Fp is the external periodic force. So by applying the Newton's law of motion, we have total force F is m d2x dt2, that is mass into acceleration. This is equal to restoring force, which is minus kx, the damping force, which is minus r dx dt, and the external periodic force, which is F0 e to the power I omega t, where k is known as the force constant, r is the damping force per unit velocity, F0 is the amplitude of the external periodic force, and omega is the frequency of external periodic force. Now by rearranging and divided the equation by m, we get d2x dt2 plus 2b dx dt plus omega naught square x equal to F0 e to the power I omega t, where omega 0 is root over of k by m. This is nothing but the natural angular frequency of vibration. 2b is equal to r by m, and small f0 equal to capital F0 by m. So now we are going to obtain the differential equation of a body executing forced vibration. Now, as we know, a body which is under damped harmonic motion is acted upon by two forces. One is the restoring force and another one is the damping force. The restoring force was minus kx and the damping force was minus r dx dt. So this was discussed in case of obtaining the differential equation for the motion, damped harmonic motion. But in case of forced vibration, we are additionally applying an external periodic force. So the total force acting on the body is the F. This is the restoring force, this is the damping force, and the external periodic force. Now, external periodic force may be of sine or cosine nature. So now we are writing it from the Newton's law. The total force m d2x dt2, Fr is minus kx, Fd is r dx dt, and this is helping the body to maintain its periodic motion, so it is in positive sign. We can write it as F0 e to the power I omega prime t, where omega prime it is the frequency of external periodic force. So now, and F0 is the amplitude. of the external periodic force. And look here, it is e to the power I omega prime t. So both sine and cosine information are contained within this function. So we can write it as d2x dt2 plus r by m dx dt plus k by m x is equal to f0 by m e to the power I omega prime t. Now look here, we already know r by m is 2b, where b is the damping constant, and k by m is omega naught square. Omega naught is the natural angular frequency, and if we write f0 by m as small f0, then this equation becomes d2x dt2 plus twice b dx dt plus omega naught square x. This is equal to small f0 I omega prime t. So this is the equation of forced vibration, and we are going to solve this differential equation. Now this kind of differential equation has two solutions, both comprises. One is called the particular integral and another is complementary function. So first of all, we are going to obtain the particular integral. So let us, for particular integral, we have, suppose x equal to some a e to the power I omega prime t is a trial solution of this differential equation. Because here the omega prime is the frequency of the driving force, because after certain time, when the steady state is reached, the body will try to oscillate with the frequency of the external periodic force. So let us be the solution of this form. Then dx dt is I omega prime a e to the power I omega prime t, and d2x dt2 is minus omega prime square e to the power I omega prime t. Now putting all this value in this equation, we have minus omega prime square plus I omega prime into 2b plus omega naught square into, if we take common, a to the power I omega prime t. This is equal to f0 e to the power I omega prime t. So now if we consider in both sides, then what we have, a is equal to f0 by omega naught square minus omega prime square plus I twice b omega prime. Now it is in a plus ib form. Now if we just assume that omega naught square minus omega prime square, this is equal to, suppose b cos theta and 2b omega prime as b sin theta, then what we have? Then we have here a is equal to f0 by b cos theta into I into b sin theta. So we can write it as f0 by, if we take b common, it will be cos theta plus I sin theta e to the power I theta. where b can be obtained from here by squaring and adding. It is root over of plus 4. So the value of b is obtained. Now x will be, what will be the value of x? X will be, we have assumed a to the power I omega prime t. So a is f0 by b to the power I theta, and e to the power I omega prime t was there. So we have the particular integral for the solution x equal to f0 e to the power I omega prime t minus theta divided by b, that is root over of omega 0 square minus omega prime square whole square plus 4 b square omega prime square. So this is the value of the particular integral. We have obtained the particular integral, and for the complementary function it is quite easy. For the complementary function, just put the right hand side equal to 0 of this equation. We have d2x dt2 plus twice b dx dt plus omega naught square x equal to 0. So look here, what is this? This equation we have already solved. This is the damped harmonic motion equation, and for the particular solution, for the damped harmonic motion, we noted that only the underdamped case, where the damping is small, is the oscillatory motion. So we may write the complementary function as x equal to c e to the power minus bt sine omega t plus phi, where omega was root over of omega naught square minus b square. So we have the particular integral and the complementary function. So with the total solution of this differential equation for forced vibration will be x equal to f0 e to the power I omega prime t minus theta divided by root over of omega 0 square minus omega prime square whole square plus 4b square omega prime square plus c e to the power minus bt sine omega t plus phi. So this is the general solution. Now look here. Here the first term will be the dominating term, because here the second term has a negative exponent of time. This gives the transient part, and here after certain time, as time goes on, this time, as it is negatively exponent term, so this term will decay and the first term will dominate, and we may take x equal to f0 to the power I omega prime t minus phi theta root over of omega square 0 square minus omega prime square whole square plus 4b square omega prime square as our solution for forced vibration. So this is our solution for forced vibration, and we may write it as x equal to f0 e to the power I omega prime t minus theta divided by root over of 0 square minus omega prime square whole square plus 4b square omega prime square after certain time. We have already discussed about the solution of a body executing forced vibration. What we have obtained, this was our equation for forced vibration: d2x dt2 plus 2b dx dt plus omega naught square x equal to f0 e to the power I omega prime t, where B was the damping constant, omega naught was the natural angular frequency, and F0 was F, the amplitude of the external periodic force divided by mass, and omega prime was the frequency of the external periodic force. What we obtained by solving for particular integral and the complementary function, this was our solution: x equal to F0 e to the power I omega prime t minus theta divided by omega naught square minus omega prime square whole square plus 4b square omega prime square plus c to the power minus bt sin omega t plus phi. As we have seen that it has a negative exponent of time, with course of time this first term dominates and we can neglect the second term. Here F0 by this term, root over of omega 0 square minus omega prime square whole square plus 4b square omega prime square, this is the amplitude of the motion. So we may write this equation as x equal to a e to the power I omega prime t minus theta. So now if we write it, where a is the amplitude of motion, amplitude of force vibration, that is F0 by this root over of this term. Now we are going to discuss what is called amplitude resonance. As we vary the frequency of the external periodic force, so amplitude resonance occur when the amplitude of the vibrating system becomes maximum. Look here, it is here omega 0 is a constant and b is also a constant. So what is a is a function of external frequency of the external periodic force, that is omega prime. Now if we vary the frequency of the external periodic force at some particular frequency of the external periodic force, this amplitude becomes maximum. This is called the term amplitude resonance. Now when the amplitude becomes maximum, from this expression of amplitude it is clear that it will be maximum when this term will be minimum, and when the term, if we write the term omega 0 square minus omega prime square whole square plus 4b square omega prime square whole square. Look here, this term, this is a function of omega prime, because omega 0 and b are the constant, and when the amplitude is maximum, when a is a max, this should be minimum, and for this term to be minimum, we should have df d omega prime should be equal to 0, and for minimum and d2f t omega prime to this should be greater than 0. Now taking the first order derivative, it is 2 into omega 0 square minus omega prime square into minus 2 omega prime plus 8 b square omega prime. So this should be equal to 0. For this function to be minimum, this should be equal to 0, and from this we have minus 4 omega 0 square plus 4 omega prime square plus 8 b square, this is equal to 0. This is equal to 0, and from where we obtained 4 omega prime square, this is equal to 4 omega 0 square minus 8 b square. So the frequency for which the amplitude becomes maximum, this is root over of omega 0 square minus 2 b square. This frequency, look here, for this frequency this function becomes minimum. and when this function becomes minimum, the amplitude will become maximum. When this term is minimum, this should be maximum. So this is the value of the resonating frequency when the amplitude is maximum. Now what is the maximum value of amplitude? Putting this value in this expression, so A max will be, we call it suppose omega prime at R. It will be f0 by root over of omega 0 square minus omega r prime square whole square plus 4b square prime square. So just putting the values, if we put all the values from here, what we get? It is f0 divided by and omega r square is minus omega 0 square plus 2b square whole square plus 4b square omega r prime square, it is omega 0 square minus 2b square. So we get A max equal to f0. This two term cancels out. We have 4b square. Here we have 4b to the power 4. So if we take 4b square common, here we have minus 8b to the power 4. So if we take 4b to the power 4 common, it comes out of the root, it is 2b root over of omega 0 square minus, it will be b square. So look here, this is the value of the maximum amplitude. Now if this is the value of the maximum amplitude, if we have a system of low damping, system with low damping, if we have, we may approximate it A max equal to f0 by twice b omega 0. Now if we plot it graphically, this amplitude is plotted against the frequency of the external periodic force, and now here if a system has lower damping constant, it will have a sharp maxima, a high value of maxima, and if it has a high damping constant, it will be a flattened maxima. So the nature of the curve will be this is for low B and this is for high. So for a system with higher damping, we have a flat maxima, and system with a lower damping, we have a sharp maxima. So this is all about amplitude resonance. Now we are going to discuss the term velocity resonance. Velocity resonance. So at some frequency of the external periodic force, the velocity of the vibrating body becomes maximum. This is called the velocity resonance. Now how to obtain the expression for velocity resonance? Look here, by solving the differential equation of forced vibration, we obtained x equal to a to the power I omega prime t minus theta, where omega prime was the frequency of external periodic force and a was the amplitude of motion. A was f0 by root over of omega 0 square minus omega prime square whole square plus 4b square omega prime square, where omega 0 are the natural angular frequency and b was the damping constant. So Suppose we are taking x as it is. If we take the real part, it will be a prime t minus theta. Suppose the external periodic force is of cosine nature. So if it is the displacement, then the velocity, if we take the derivative, it will be a omega prime, a minus sign will be there, t minus theta. So look here. So what we can say, we can also write it as a omega prime cos of pi by 2 plus theta minus omega prime t. Look here, they are velocity is and the displacement are 90 degree out of phase. So if we want to obtain the expression for velocity, we have v equal to, so we have a omega prime sine omega prime t minus theta, and we also can write it as v0, if we neglect the minus sign, sine omega prime t minus theta. Okay, here v0 is the amplitude, and if we write it as v0 sine, if we write it as, if we absorb the minus sign, it will be cos pi by 2 plus omega prime t minus theta. So this is the expression for velocity. Now we know that the maximum value of cosine is 1. So the maximum of velocity can be obtained from this expression. We have v0, the amplitude, maximum amplitude of velocity, as a omega prime, that is a we know f0 omega prime over of omega 0 square minus omega prime square whole square plus 4b square omega prime square. Look, the maximum value of cosine theta is 1. So then when the velocity will be maximum, when this amplitude will be maximum, amplitude of the velocity, when this is maximum, just some rearrangement of this term we can write f0. If we take omega prime inside the bracket, we have omega 0 square minus omega prime square whole square plus 4b square omega prime square divided by omega prime square. So we have f0 is divided by root over of omega 0 square by omega prime minus omega prime whole square plus 4b square. So now from here we can see that this term is constant. So when the velocity amplitude will be maximum, when this term will be 0, and when this term will be 0, that is omega 0 square by omega prime minus omega prime, this term should be 0 for having maximum of amplitude. So from here we have omega 0 square minus omega prime square equal to 0. So omega prime is plus minus omega naught. So from here we can say when the frequency of the external periodic force just matches with the frequency, natural angular frequency of vibration of the body, then the velocity amplitude of vibration becomes maximum and we obtained velocity resonance. And what is the expression for velocity amplitude at maxima? It is f0, it is 0, then it will be f0 by 2b. So v0 max we can say, and if we plot it in a graph, look here, it is again similar to that of amplitude resonance for a system with high and low damping value. If we plot the velocity amplitude versus frequency of the external periodic force. So we have a sharp maxima for small b and a broad maxima for high b. So for a system with higher damping, we have a broad maxima, and system with a small damping, we have a sharp maxima. So this is called the velocity resonance. Here we are going to find out the expression of energy and power in case of forced vibration. We have already obtained the equation of motion of a body executing forced vibration. We solved the differential equation and obtained the solution, that is x equal to a e to the power I omega prime t minus theta, which we have shown in detail, where a is the amplitude of motion and omega prime, this is the frequency of external periodic force. And in the previous discussion, we have obtained the expression of amplitude as a f0 small f0 divided by root over of omega naught square minus omega prime square whole square plus 4 b square omega prime square, where we know that omega naught is the natural angular frequency, omega prime is the frequency of the external periodic force, and b is the damping coefficient. Now if we consider the external periodic force is expressed by cosine function, as it is also a sinusoidal function, we take f equal to f0 cos omega prime t. In our solution, in case of our solution, we solved the differential equation by assuming f as f0 e to the power I omega prime t, as both sine and cosine functions are there. So it will not be difficult to consider only the cosine part. So let us consider the external periodic force is given by f is f0 cos omega prime t, where f0 is the amplitude of the external periodic force and omega prime is the frequency of the external periodic force. And now we know that to overcome the damping force and to maintain the body in vibration, the external periodic force supplies some mechanical energy to the system, and we have to find out how much power it is delivering to the system, which is very much easy. As we know, the expression of power is given by power is force into velocity. Thus the expression of power supplied by the external periodic force to the system is given by power is equal to external force into the velocity of the system. So next we are going to obtain the expression of power delivered by the external periodic force to the vibrating system. So we know the expression of power is given by external force into velocity of the system. As we know, the external force is given by f0 cos omega prime t. So the power P is f0 cos omega prime t into velocity, that is dx dt. Now considering the real part of the solution of x equal to a e to the power I omega prime t minus theta, as the force is given by cosine function, so x will be a cos omega prime t minus theta, considering only the real part of this solution. So the velocity, just take the time, first order time derivative, v is dx dt, it will be a omega prime, the ddt of cos omega prime t minus theta gives sin omega prime t minus theta. So velocity v is minus a omega prime sin omega prime t minus theta. Just putting this expression in the expression of power, we have P is equal to f0 cos omega prime t into dx dt. From this expression, putting the value of dx dt in the expression of power, we have P equal to minus f0 cos omega prime t into a omega prime sin omega prime t minus theta, and the minus sign is there. So by rearranging, we have this is equal to, this power equal to minus f0 a omega prime by 2, and it is, if we divide by 2, we have 2 cos a sin b, and from your trigonometric knowledge, you know 2 cos a sin b is nothing but sin a plus b minus sin a minus b. So by this, using this, we have power P equal to minus f0 a omega prime by 2 sin 2 omega prime t minus theta minus sin theta. Now we are going to find out, here we have obtained the power, it is a function of time. We are going to obtain the average power supplied by the external periodic force per cycle. That is, we are going to find out the average power over a complete time period. So it is, we know the standard formula, P average, it is represented by this symbol. P average is given by 0 to t p dt divided by t. It is giving us the average over a complete time period. So now putting the value of P from the above expression, we have P average is equal to, the constant terms are out, taking out over the integration symbol, we have outside the integral minus f0 a omega prime divided by 2, and inside the integration we have 0 to t sine 2 omega prime t minus theta minus sine theta dt whole divided by t. Here capital T is the time period. So we have the expression of average power P is minus f0 a omega prime divided by 2. Inside the integration of limit 0 to t, it is sine 2 omega prime t minus theta minus sine theta dt whole divided by t. Now this integration is very much easy to integrate, and we have given it in the graph in the right side of the slide, and using this result, that is 0 to t sine 2 omega prime t minus theta dt, it is 0. So what remains? Sine theta is a constant. If you take it outside the integration, we have 0 to t dt, which gives us t. So t cancels out, capital T cancels out. We have average power P is equal to f0 a omega prime divided by 2 sine theta, where f0 is the amplitude of the external periodic force, a is the amplitude of motion, omega prime is the external frequency of the periodic force, and divided by 2, and sine theta. And if we look back to the solution which we have performed of the particular integral, where we assumed tan theta is 2b omega prime divided by omega 0 square minus omega prime square. This was our tan theta. So as we know the value of tan theta, we can easily find out sine theta, which is nothing but sine theta will be 2b omega prime divided by root over of omega 0 square minus omega prime square whole square plus 4b square omega prime square. And this is from your class 8 trigonometric knowledge. And now putting the value of sine theta in the expression of average power, we have P average is f0 a omega prime by 2, and putting the value of sine theta 2b omega prime divided by root over of omega 0 square minus omega prime square whole square plus 4 b square omega prime square. We also know the expression of amplitude, what is given in the left, a is capital F0 by m divided by root over of omega 0 square minus omega prime square whole square plus 4b square omega prime square. Now if we put the expression of amplitude by using this one in the expression of average power, in average power, just rearranging in the second line, if you take a omega prime whole square b into f0 by root over of omega 0 square minus omega prime whole square plus 4b square omega prime square. Look here, what is f0 by root over of omega 0 square minus omega prime square whole square plus 4b square omega prime square? This is nothing but m into a. So just putting it the value here, we obtain average power supplied by the external periodic force per cycle is mb omega prime square s square. Look here, m is the mass of the body, b is the damping coefficient, omega prime is the frequency of the external periodic force, and capital A is the amplitude of motion. So we have obtained the value of average power supplied by the external periodic force per unit cycle. So we have just seen that the external periodic force supplies mechanical energy to the system to overcome the resistive forces or the damping forces present. And we have already obtained the average power supplied by the external periodic force per cycle. Now we are going to obtain the expression of power dissipated in doing work against the damping force by the oscillating body. So we have the rate of doing work dE dt, it is again the basically rate of doing work is nothing but the power of the power loss against doing work against the damping force. So it is dE dt is damping force into velocity, and we know the expression of damping force, it is R dx dt. So R dx dt into dx dt. R, capital R, is nothing but the damping force per unit velocity. Again, we know the expression of velocity from v is equal to dx dt. We have already determined minus a omega prime sine omega prime t minus theta. And if we put in the expression of dE dt the rate of doing work against the damping force, that which is nothing but the power dissipated. So dE dt is R is square omega prime square sine square omega prime t minus theta. Now if we want to find out the average work done per unit time over a cycle, we have to take the time average over a complete time period. We are going to do that. So the average time average of dE dt is 1 by t0 to t dE dt dt. We already have performed this kind of integral. So time average of dE dt is 1 by t 0 to t dE dt. Integration limit is 0 to t. So putting the value of dE dt and taking the constant out of integration, we have 1 by t r s square omega prime square 0 to t integration of sine square omega prime t minus theta dt. And we also familiar with this kind of integration which we have solved in case of damped harmonic motion, and we know the value of 0 to t sine square omega prime t minus theta dt is t by 2. If we put the limits there, it is capital T by 2, and tt cancels out, so we obtain dE dt is half r s square omega prime square. And what is r? While solving the differential equation for damped harmonic motion and forced harmonic motion, we assume 2b is equal to r by m. So using 2bm in case of r, we have here dE dt average over a complete cycle is mb omega prime square s square. Look here, the two expressions are same. Thus the average power supplied per cycle by the external periodic force becomes just same to the average power lost by the system in overcoming the damping force. So these two expressions are identical. So the power supplied to the vibrating body by the external periodic force is just same as the power dissipated in overcoming the damping force. We have already discussed a lot about resonance, and we have seen that resonance is dependent upon the damping coefficient of the system. System with high damping exhibit very broad resonance peak, and while the system with a small damping exhibits sharp resonance peak. So now here from the point of view of power supplied by the external periodic force, we are going to discuss the how to measure sharpness of resonance. Now look here, average power per cycle supplied by the external periodic force, we have already obtained the expression of average power P. It is mb omega prime square into a square, where omega prime is the frequency of the external periodic force, b is the damping coefficient, and a is the amplitude of vibration. And we know the expression of amplitude of vibration a as f0 divided by root over of omega 0 square minus omega prime square whole square plus 4b square omega prime square. Just putting the value of amplitude a in the above expression of average power per cycle, we have mb omega prime square, and in case of a square we put f0 square divided by omega 0 square minus omega prime square whole square plus 4b square omega prime square. Now look here, dividing up and down with omega prime square, what we have? In case here we have average power P is equal to mbf0 square, and here if we take omega prime square inside the bracket, we have omega 0 square divided by omega prime minus omega prime whole square plus 4b square, where omega prime square cancels out. Now as we know, when resonance takes place, when the power becomes maximum, the power given by the external periodic force and power consumed by the system is maximum at resonance. When this is possible? When the first term in the here is 0. When this happens, when omega 0 square by omega prime minus omega prime, this is equal to 0. and this happens when we obtain omega 0 that is equal to omega prime. When these two frequency matches, when the frequency of the external periodic force just match with the natural angular frequency of vibration of the body, we have the resonance. At resonance the first term becomes 0 and we have P maximum is mbf0 square divided by 4b square. So this is the value of maximum power at resonance. Now writing the general expression of power in term of P maximum, from the above expression we have P is, in case of mb omega prime square, mb f0 square divided by 4b square, we are writing P maximum. So we have P is P maximum, P average is P average maximum into 4b square omega prime square divided by omega 0 square minus omega prime square whole square plus 4b square omega prime square. So this is the expression of power. So we have obtained that at resonance the power is maximum, which is also clear from the graph given here. And look here, at resonance the power becomes maximum, and we are going to define the frequency where power is maximum power divided by 2, where average power is half of maximum power. And we know the expression of power. Average power is P average maximum into 4b square omega prime square divided by omega 0 square minus omega prime square whole square plus 4b square omega prime square. In case of P average, we are writing P average maximum by 2. We are going to find out where the half value of maximum is happening. Look here, suppose in the graph the maximum is characterized by the peak of the resonance. So half value should be in between 0 and the maximum of this peak in the y-axis. So at that position P average is P maximum average by 2. So in that point we have, from this relation, if we put omega 0 square minus omega prime square whole square plus 4b square omega prime square, this is equal to 2p, that means 8b square omega prime square. Just putting P as P average maximum by 2, and P maximum cancels out. So we have omega 0 square minus omega prime square whole square equal to 4b square omega prime square. So omega prime square is plus minus 2b omega prime by taking root in both sides, minus omega 0 square equal to 0. And we know from this quadratic equation we get the values of the roots as omega prime, it is minus plus 2b plus minus root over of b square, that is 4b square, plus minus 4 omega 0 square by 2. So it is minus plus b plus minus root over of b square plus omega 0 square. So as omega prime is positive, the frequency of the external periodic force is always positive. So only choosing the positive roots, we have omega 1 prime as minus b plus root over of b square plus omega 0 square, and omega 2 prime is b plus root over of b square plus omega 0 prime. So now this quantity, this difference at the half value of power, we get two value of the root for the external periodic frequency. Suppose at the half value of this maxima we draw a perpendicular to the graphs which intersect at 2 points in the x-axis, and these values are omega 1 prime and omega 2 prime. So the bandwidth, this difference, the frequency difference between the two half value of the maximum power, delta omega prime, this is nothing but the omega 2 prime minus omega 1 prime, this is equal to 2b. So this gives us the value of bandwidth, and by using this we can assess the sharpness of resonance. Look here, it is dependent upon the bandwidth is dependent upon the damping constant. For a damping system with high damping constant, B will be higher, and for this case delta omega prime will be higher. So we get a broad maxima which is given by blue line in this graph, and for a system with small damping, B will be smaller and delta omega prime will be smaller, and we shall get a sharp maxima which is signified by the red colored graph. So this is called the sharpness of resonance, and it can be easily measured by using the half value maxima of the power.